Alright, so we are here today to react to this video, 5 scariest diver footage caught on camera. That is an odd way of naming your video, but I mean, I guess it's convenient. So, without any further ado, we're just going to jump straight into it. This is the first time I've seen it. I was looking up stuff on Jackie Castillo, Francis Jackie Castillo, some name like that. He did a dive in Lake Tahoe and found some interesting stuff that he never told us about. So, yeah. All right. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of the Copyright Act of 1976. Oh wow!
I have made a video on this subject about a year ago,
Didn't get a chance to read
which
that.
seemed to get a lot of attention, and I really enjoyed making it. So I've decided to make a part 2. It's taken me a while
Wise
to make a part 2, as I wanted to get the best clips possible and avoid ones that are obvious fakes. So here are the 5 scariest deep sea diver footage caught on camera. I hope you all enjoy.
As do I. Okay, first thing I'd like you guys to note is, yeah, I'm reacting to the majority scary videos because that's the funnest to watch people to react to, right? But I'm like not scared of water, like drowning or anything like that. I'm really just not that scared. Water, being underwater is kind of like a dreamy thing for me, so I really dig that. So this doesn't look like it's going to faze me, but we'll see. What is that? What?
This video comes from a YouTuber with 2.2 million subscribers. He is about to dive into a river for the first time in a couple of months to see what he can find in extremely cold water. Over the course of the video, he finds various different items such as fishing hooks, old cups, and a tennis ball. However, the one particularly odd thing he discovers is a rusty old pistol, which he suspects is a murder weapon. So he calls the cops, who say they can't get fingerprint evidence from it, but they will run a serial number on it to see what information they can find out. Overall, this 10-minute video is pretty crazy, and is definitely worth a watch.
Interesting. Okay, that one's not scary, but that one is, like, what would you do if you found a rusty pistol underwater? I would, first off, I wouldn't grab it and just start doing this. Okay, maybe I would. Okay, I definitely would. But, yeah, beside the point. What would you do? Comment down below, what would you do if you found a rusty old pistol underwater? No, even scarier, what would you do if you found a perfectly good, working, loaded pistol underwater?
This video is filmed by a channel with 754,000 subscribers and shows the diver scouring the ocean floor when he suddenly comes across a mysterious object. After more observation,
it's a meteorite.
It appears he has found an unexploded cannonball, which he then proceeds to hit against the ground.
Whacking it? Bro, you're gonna blow yourself up underwater. Worst place on the planet to blow up is underwater. Don't do It's a cannonball. Why would you do that?
The cannonball that's been in the ocean that long won't explode, but you'd be wrong. There's a story of 2 men in the Air Force in the 80s who were stationed in South Carolina, and one of their mates brought a 6-pound cannonball he found embedded in a riverbed, which they proceeded to throw across the room at each other. They later took it into an EOD yard, who fired a squib into it, which resulted in the cannonball exploding with great force.
Him hitting it.
If one of the men had dropped the cannon, it would more than likely have resulted in their death. So in my opinion, the guy in this video is extremely lucky to not have been at least seriously injured.
No, if that thing blows up and it has any, like, yeah, an explosion underwater doesn't have to be very big to cause a lot of damage to you, so just be aware of that if you ever decide to let a firecracker go inside the same pool that you're in. Earthquake? That's...
This video
okay, so like I'm not afraid of underwater, but when the earth is quaking and I'm underwater, that's a little different. That's like being like a a fish in a bag and shook up type of thing. I don't want to be that.
Batangas, which is a province of the Philippines.
Okay.
The video appears to be relatively normal. However, suddenly, whilst the divers are deep underwater and almost at the ocean floor, an earthquake begins, aggressively shaking the ground below them. This must have been a pretty terrifying ordeal.
Dang. Well, while the rest of the world's falling apart, you're underwater just kind of safe, chilling, watching the world shake as you're just... I guess it doesn't shake the water then. Huh. That's pretty cool. That looks cool. Wow, they caught it on camera too. Wow. That is so cool. Gosh, now you know what it looks like underwater. Part of me has always wondered. That question has been answered. Great white encounter.
The video we can see here shows a man diving in the Gulf of Mexico.
And it's got to be right near my state, Texas. Great whites, get out of here.
On his last day of the dive, he was in roughly 93 feet of water, which is approximately 28 meters. He then encounters a great white shark. The shark continues to retreat and return for a while, as if trying to suss the man out. However, the diver has his spear gun in hand and pointed it at the great white. This wasn't because he wanted to shoot it though. It was merely to act as a deterrent for the shark, so it knows not to attack. Luckily for the diver, the shark got to within 10 meters or so and turned back, which is when he decided to take the risk of getting the bends and ascended quickly, rather than having another run-in with the great white. I can't say I blame him. Overall, this was an almost standoff between the diver and the great white, but if he didn't have his spear gun and stand his ground, there could have been an entirely different outcome.
Definitely, but that is... Think about how, like, kick butt awesome you sound when you come out of the water. It's like, hey guys, I gotta get out a little early. This is great white, and I don't want to have to kill him with my spear gun. That would be so awesome. I want to do this. Good going for you, mate. That's awesome. Oh my gosh. Wall down current. I don't even know what that means.
The video we can see here is from LiveLeak and shows a young diver attempting a standard dive. When he begins his dive, he begins the gradual descent. However, around 3.5 minutes into the video, something goes drastically wrong.
Oh.
He gets caught by a wall down current, essentially dragging him helplessly towards the bottom of the ocean. The other divers with him also get dragged in as well, and the current is so powerful, it's almost impossible for them to fight against it. The most eerie thing about the video is how you can hear the rookie diver screaming in panic.
So, what do you do when you're being dragged down? Because obviously you don't want to waste a lot of energy trying to fight it, but like if you don't, you're just being dragged for who knows how long. So like, what do you do? Okay, screams underwater, number one, aren't nearly as intense, thank God. But number two, they're like the silent screams. The screams no one hears before you dive. Ha! Die! Unless, of course, they were recorded. And something tells me this dude survived, though, because this camera obviously came back up.
Eventually, they make it out down current, and he attempts to make a rapid ascent towards the surface, which is when a more experienced diver has to come and tell him to go back down before he develops decompression sickness. There were multiple things wrong with the dive from the start, the main things being, they were too far apart when at the surface, they didn't perform a group controlled descent, and they also had no dive buddy. I'd say the young diver is...
I didn't know there was that many rules. I thought I knew a lot about diving, but I was like, yeah, that's... Two of those rules are kind of new to me, so like...
is very lucky to be alive.
Definitely. But he survived it, thank goodness. But holy moly, like you went back under after that happening? Like I'd give it a break. I'd kind of recoup and be like, all right, guys, like, what do we do to avoid that from happening? Or, other such dangers that are really hard to fight. Like, can we talk, please? Like, can you guys give me a line hooked up to me or something? Like, I'd go back in the water, but I'd want to talk about how to avoid that mistake again. Yeah. Next thing you know, mermaids are coming out singing tunes, and then you're just really gone. What is that? Somebody chained somebody up underwater?
I've seen this video been put on YouTube a few times with a misleading title, and there are many people who believe it to be real. So I wanted to add this at the end of the video as a kind of bonus clip before people ask me why it wasn't included on my list. In the video, we can see what looks to be a diving squad descend to the ocean floor and encounter objects such as ankle chains and cement shoes, alongside other objects which would indicate a murder has taken place, when suddenly a woman's body floats in front of the camera shortly after.
Whoa!
This is fake, and was conducted by Vice.
I did not see that coming. Whoa! Oh my gosh!
For something called the 307 Project, where 4 directors created short horror films inspired by the release of The Conjuring.
Oh, okay, yeah, good for them. They created one that was successful. Kids, don't dive at night. Whew! Okay, that's the end of the video, guys. I'm gonna stop the screen recording. Oh! Okay, so like, in all honesty, I knew there was going to be something a little intense in that video based on the cover, but I did not see that coming, in all honesty. Like, whoa. Okay, so, comment down below, dive if you want to dive, or shark dive if you want to shark dive in the future. Those are both things I want to do. And as usual, guys, comment down below your thoughts on this video, or more importantly, videos you'd like me to react to in the future. I will gladly take them. At this point, I don't have any limits on what I will or won't watch to react to on YouTube. Just try and find shorter videos because I don't want like an hour-long video. That's a really long video. So just keep those things in mind as we move forward. And I will see you guys later. Peace out.